Hi viewers, yet another day out walking. Today I'm going to give what I have come to consider the most important advice that I can give after 3 years on this cancer journey. If I was only to give one advice and I was not allowed to say anything but that, the advice would be, without the doubt, remember to do exercise. Now, I don't think I need to explain why exercise in general terms is important. But the reason why I'm emphasizing that specifically has got nothing to do with what is obvious. At least not to me it was. So bear with me. But before I just get further into that topic, let's recap a bit of how my journey has been and why I wish somebody told me this before. In 2016, I started doing trail running. So, doing exercise is not something I'm a stranger to. I've actually all my life liked doing a lot of sport. But more or less consistently, I did trail running. Living in Chiang Mai is a perfect area for that. We got a lot of trails, and there's a lot of hash kennels, and that was the setting in which I was running. Then, when I got diagnosed in 2023, these occasional, less structured, if you will, running session changed into something much more structured, because I knew that not only does it improve my immune system, but it also, by running, keeps my blood flowing faster than if I had a sedentary lifestyle, and that quick rush of blood means that whatever cancer debris or cancer cells I might have in my bloodstream did not have a chance, or at least a less chance, of consolidating itself into metastases. So even at bad days, I went out running, if for no other reason than at least to do my best to avoid metastases. I've never tried that before, but I do have seen the reviews of people who have tried it, and they do not seem to be enjoying life. So it's definitely not something I am keen on trying. Now, I've also been a keen fitness guy. I mean, I love to go to the fitness center and do a little bit of muscle training as well, but especially since I moved out to the northeastern Thailand, there's been far between the fitness centers. It seems to improve, I've just learned that, but 4 years ago when I moved out here, it wasn't the case. And I had to drive a long distance to get to a fitness center. So while I did start doing it initially, just because it was another good part of doing exercise, then I stopped after less than a year. So for the past 2 years I haven't done it. Running has been okay. I mean, I don't enjoy running really, to be honest, but because I'm also lacking the finances to go run these bigger hash runs down in Pattaya, and those have been kind of my milestone, because I've done that every 4 months. So I knew when I came back from a run, I had about a month where I relaxed, didn't do all that much, just to recover from the run. And then I had another 3 months to go where I had to get in shape again and make sure that I didn't show up and had a good time with my friends and not being able to run. So that kind of kept me in the rhythm of doing my running. But about a year ago, that's the last time I did an official run, I stopped, and that in turn means I needed the carrot in front of me, and I didn't have that anymore. So my routines was just maintained based on what I've said about metastases, to try and avoid that. Muscle training, I started out doing that 2 weeks ago, and this was only because I have now 4 months ago started doing Bicalutamide. If you follow my channel, you know that that is a drug that blocks the testosterone by the androgen receptors. It means I'm still having my testosterone intact. In fact, I've got more testosterone as it stands right now than I normally have, because I don't have the so-called feedback loop. So I haven't got my testosterone cut as they do with a normal androgen deprivation therapy, and I'm only doing this bicalutamide at 50 milligrams, which is usually a monotherapy, a therapy done in conjunction with ADT. Monotherapy is normally 150 milligrams. So it's all a bit experimental, but the experimental bit doesn't matter too much, in the sense that it still hits me biologically. It means that the ability to build muscle is reduced, the ability to recover after exercise is reduced. It means that I have a risk of developing diabetes, and that in turn means I have a risk of developing obesity. And that's simply because when the insulin level rises, became less insulin resistant, fat deposited easier, and it's blocked from using fat for energy. It's all technical. But anyway, the reason why I'm then a bit annoyed or unhappy that nobody told me how important exercise is not because I know that I didn't know that the better fitter I am, the better I'm coping with all these side effects, because I knew that was the reason why I went holistic. But one part of it I failed to understand is that one of the underlying qualities of doing consistent exercise is obviously also that exercise become easier, and things that are easier is also something that you are less prone not to do. But most importantly, you discipline yourself into routines that will carry you through when life gets hard. And that is what the advice is about right now. It's not just about having a good VO2 max, and it's not just about getting kilometers in your legs or being able to deadlift 200 pounds. It's about the consistency of doing it, and doing it while you're healthy, while you can build strength and endurance that makes whatever exercise you have chosen easier to do when it gets hard. Because what happens once you get into the treatment system is the biology changes. I'm suffering from fatigue, tiredness. I have days where I just feel like I want to sleep the whole day. And the only thing that saves my bacon as it stands right now is the fact that I have been trail running since 2016. So the one thing that I do consistently, without necessarily need a lot of discipline, I just have to do the same routine every day. That is walking and running. Like it or not, rainy or not, cold or not, it doesn't matter, hot or not, I'll still get out there and get it done. And that's the part that I think a lot of people don't miss out on. And I can tell you, once you get hit by the drugs, there's really no way of covering for it. Then it's getting almost too late. Getting out and getting working, exercising is hard when you're mentally struck by depression, when your body just wants to sleep because the drugs is depriving you from all the energy you otherwise have, and where the ability to recover from the exercise is minimized. When I'm not under the influence of these drugs, the ability to build muscle is obviously not impaired, and the ability to recover from an exercise is not impaired, which means that you can do it more consistently without suffering too much. But once you're on the Bicalutamide, it becomes a totally different game. It becomes so much more difficult to recover from whatever you're doing, and so much more difficult to drag your ass out doing it, especially if you do not have the routines in place. So my advice will at any given time be, if you are healthy and you're doing well, don't take it for granted. Make good use of it. Make sure that you're on an averagely good level. Stay fit. Not just for the level of fitness, but for the sake of the routines. And that's the key, the routines, because that is going to be your savior. Sure, being fit is going to save you too, but that comes automatically. You cannot be unfit and have routines doing something fitness related. So the focus should be build routines. Make sure you come out there and you do whatever exercise you like to get your heart rate up pumping, get a little bit of muscle training into your body, and do that on a regular basis, so that when life gets hard, and if you get struck by cancer and you have to go the treatment route, the medication will definitely make sure you get hit hard. Then you have a tool in your box that will be a lifesaver. I have days now I just don't want to get out of bed, and the routine I built for my hash running, that helps me a lot. But I can see I'm suffering badly when it comes to strength training, because it hurt me so much and I'm not recovering after it. So doing it the next time is not having like, oh yeah, I love it because I'm getting better or I feel stronger. I don't. I feel hurt. I feel pain. It's not the slightest bit fun. And sweating your butt off doing something that ain't fun while your body is already screaming just to lie down and relax and don't do anything, and your mental state is like, oh man, I might just as well give up on this shit because it's not fun anymore. Well, then things becomes really, really difficult. So it is seriously, of all the things you can do, of all the gurus out there telling you to eat this and eat that and do this and do that and run through the Chinese medicine or through the supplement stacks and through the different treatment you can have the official way, if there's any single advice worth giving, and that is absolutely stay fit and get into some routines. And I know this will just blow straight over the head of most people because you have to be cornered before you understand the value of it. That's how it is often, isn't it? So it's not supposed to be a long video. I hope it isn't, but it was a very important video. 3 years down trail. Stay healthy. I always say stay happy and healthy, but stay healthy with good routines. I should probably have added that. Until next time, stay happy and healthy with good routines.